back to the show. Hazel here, the Wealth Whisperer, and today I am really pleased to be joined by the lovely Jihyun Lee, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about her in just a second, but we're here to help you move from wherever you're at in terms of your finances and your lifestyle to where you'd love to get to. And my guest today will no doubt help you to start to think about your own life and where you're at right now in even more deep focus. So it's wonderful to have somebody who's perhaps at a little slightly different stage of the life path journey with me today compared to myself and my previous interviewees. So welcome to the show, Jihyun Lee, and thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super looking forward to it today.
Wonderful. Well, it's great that you're able to spend the time to do so. Now, Jihyun originates from South Korea, in fact, in Seoul, and her journey took her to New Zealand for her studies and then to the UK to now live and work. And over the last decade or so, she's had quite an eclectic career, it looks like, from all sorts of things, positions ranging from marketing roles, e-commerce, and more recently into property, leadership coaching, and now a biotech startup. And I'm certain we're gonna have a really great, interesting life story here, and there's going to be some fantastic nuggets that come out in terms of what it means to live free and to be free to live the way that you want. So without further ado, now I've done my very best to introduce you today, Jihyun. If it wasn't me introducing you, how would you best introduce yourself, may I ask?
Wow, this is very fresh. Yeah, introducing myself as a third person. Well, I would say G is an A player who's playing life with curiosity, wonder, and philosophy. Those are yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
brilliant. I love it. I love it. Excellent. And tell me a little bit about, you mentioned in the information that I've read about you so far that you've had some pretty interesting shifts in your life. There have been some pretty pivotal moments in your life so far. So could you tell me maybe about the top one or two of those shifts that has been the most, well, you can tell me even about, more if it's appropriate to, about that's meant that you shifted from one point in your life to somewhere else in your life that's kind of helped you to, I don't know, break free in some way or see life from a different perspective, like you say, seeing life in a fresh way, and what that's meant to you, these shifts that have happened.
It is had like a pivotal moment with more career wise. That was kind of easy, more natural to me. But with a very big personal journey, I learned a very hard way. This one, very learned hard way. So what I learned is it's very strong my pain and emotions how to transmute. That is like my superpower. So it was more self-awareness that gives me completely freedom. That's why so looking forward to talking about our freedom. Just self thyself, right? It's just knowing yourself that gives you so much freedom. But I learned it very hard way and came to here. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, journey of self-discovery then, would you say it's been
That
more?
is totally when really in deep and understand but myself. I started with from human. I was really interested in just the whole thing wasn't quite clicked enough. Externally, I was doing really well, but just going deeper and deeper inside. I started with from how human works, and then you have to go through all that, and then you really understand one day we are no one and we are someone, and all just coming through all there with the oneness, and then we understand that you are you, me, and you, we are all the same, and stuff like that. You really deeply understand that part, and knowing who you are, you have a really real conversation and a real relationship with yourself, and that gives you, yeah, again, it's so much power and freedom, and you respect yourself and your others very deeply and very just fundamental. And it's just, yeah, it's just that it's really nice feeling from everything and anything in your life.
Can you give us like an example of this, like maybe a particular shift that you had that made like the biggest difference to your life? So the biggest, in terms of being more self-aware, in terms of your, let's say, the, you know, the career roles that you've had or what have you, the becoming more self-aware, what has that meant in terms of what shift you have made in the external world, having recognized or realized something about the inside world, as it were, and what shift that has meant, and how has that freed you
So,
up?
how I started my, it's easy to explain because of external physical tangible, right? So, my journey was I started from luxury fashion and beauty. So, mainly predominantly digital marketing,
Okay.
e-commerce. I loved it, of course. It's, really enjoyed it. Externally, it's just, but also it's just achieving great stuff outside. It's fantastic, and it gets you keep getting validate from externally from others. So that, and that was a very personal thing because just of how I been brought up, there's a bit imbalance in my life. So that I just needed like someone with high achievers, they usually have they need to validate. They need to validate from other people. Um, that's why they become high achievers because they just need to keep bringing that. And then once you understand, I'm really knowing. I'd love to say there was one good moment I found this, but it's a few layer. You just keep hitting the wall, and then you get that. Okay, okay, universe, I got it. So that the moment and changing my career is again very easy to explain how what my journey was. So from luxury fashion and beauty to now I'm turning to yeah, it's working with the high achievers. Yeah, doing coaching them because of how I freed myself. It's a validation from others and externally. If you don't need it because you know who you are, is all your bank account or your job title isn't you. It doesn't matter. Just that you are who you are. Once you really understand, you validate yourself. You don't need external thing. And then I'm very moving on to naturally working with the higher achievers with the leadership coach, but also moving on to my new project for tech as well. So this year I'm working on an biotech for premium food. Again, it's working with the it's all external beauty with the luxury fashion and beauty, but it's internally and then bring more community. What you're doing here, so to bring community around the food, around the good food. So to answer your question, is it changed definitely changed my outlook. Outlook external. I just need to validate it from other people, other more job title, more bigger salaries over that. But once you understand that, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. You have your fully freedom on that. Um, that makes I can really go onto my own stuff and then helping others and then give them. It's my this the freedom I have. I'd like to other people to have. So this is a tool because the career is like the external and the tool isn't it to connect with the world, connect with the people. So that's how my journey is from need the validation from externally, and then I can only validate I am who I am, I become who I am, I validate myself. I don't need any validation. That say You just you just work harder, to be honest. Yeah, for yourself.
Yeah, I love that, because like so many people are in a job or a career path that is not necessarily them, and they're doing it to please others, whether it's a cultural thing or a parental thing, or there's a certain element of expectation of an educational standard, or type of career they've got to end up in, and it can be a lot of pressure. And in fact, that's what, can mold you as in a certain way, but it can actually trap you. And I think maybe that's what you're sort of describing, is that you feel this sudden way of being trapped in a particular industry or career or role that is not you. And when you explore that and you start to dive deeper and become more aware of, actually, is this what I'm all about? And what fascinates me about your journey is that you started off in the fashion and beauty industry, and you were doing marketing, e-commerce, that sort of thing for big name brands. And then you obviously, this layered self deepening process has allowed you to sort of go, well, actually, beauty in that sense is only skin deep, but actually you're more interested in the beauty that goes deeper, and that what comes from caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, giving yourself, or filling yourself up, so that you're not just dealing with the external validation, and you're not just dealing with the making yourself look beautiful with clothes or makeup or whatever. It's actually the
Yeah,
beauty comes from inside, right? So am I yeah, am I right with that sort of thing? It fascinates me, that
totally.
journey.
Absolutely, you are right. And some of my friends have an amazing career, but they just got a really good, very expensive golden handcuff. Very, very, so they can't get away with it.
Mm,
Yeah, you see what I
yeah.
mean? So and then people themselves, as well as around themselves, they think that that's their identity. That's not your identity. People really have no idea. They think job titles, bank account is their identity. They can't really describe who they are. I describe myself. I play life. I play. I really play. I'm really playful. It's just everything is a game. It's just why you take it so seriously. I'm just for that super curious, right? I'm curious. I'm just so grateful and wonder and the philosophy. I think a lot. I question myself a lot. I have. It's not like a not away, but is it because of trying to when you just talking about external beauty to internal thinking about you will understand you are more than just body because you are and your brain your mind is not you, you are you. That's a completely different thing, and then obviously you have your best to look after it um to use because you're like a vehicle,
Yeah.
but you don't need to look after that. So is it that when you think about like internally, as you just said, think about it that way, and then people it's very hard. Like people just when I just hear people for that really they think they're really trapped. They think that's all they have. But it's not that you can be whatever you want, and it's need awareness. That's all. It's not even bravery. Once you really understand who you are, and it's you understand what's bigger than who you are. Like it, this time thing is all man-made, and if you understand that. You won't be really tripped. You can be anything you want, and then you don't have to be that. My golden handcuff is quite difficult to get out of. I know that.
Oh, for sure. I call it the golden trap, but it's the same thing. Yeah, the golden trap is that you've reached a certain point in life. You've worked hard. You've got to a particular point in your career. You're earning pretty well. You've got the family, the
Yeah.
house, the car, blah blah. But there's something deep down that's not satisfied. That's like, is this it? There's more to life, surely, to than just being in this logical, time
Mm,
oriented career progression, that you get to a midpoint in your life. And I'm really interested the fact that you've discovered this at a relatively early age, really, compared to many people. And I think the exploration and the questioning is good, because so many people that I've worked with as well over the years think that they have to study hard to get to every job role they have. And like myself, I was
Oh,
a musician, a music teacher. Okay, that's
yeah.
what I studied for. That was my background. But when I got to the point where I started to
Okay.
be interested in property and becoming wealthy and all this sort of thing, and then I started buying properties and just doing it, just having the experience of doing that. And then when someone said to me about property coaching, I was like, well, who am I to coach somebody in property? I've never
Mm,
studied that. Da, da, da. But it's like, well,
yeah.
it's like who I was, and I was doing it, and I was living it, and I was loving it, and it was like lighting me up. And I was thinking, well,
Okay. Yeah.
I, there is no degree to take in this, so I just do it, right? So that's like essentially what you're saying here is that you're I think the fact that you have done the deeper work on yourself as a result of whatever experiences you've had in life, you've done the deeper work and come to recognition and realization of this life and what it's all about. And I thought, well, we could go really deep here, but I just conscious of making sure that we kind of
Audience.
connect
Yeah.
with our with the audience at different levels. And when you look at it, yeah, this life is for exploration. It is for the curiosity. It is, nothing stays the same if you really look at it. Even if wake up in the same house every day with the same partner every day, it's never, no 2 days are ever the same. And yeah, like you say, the past,
It's
present,
all in here.
future,
Yeah.
it's
Mm,
man-made concept, but
mm.
it's all in here. Yeah, yeah. So I get it, and I love the fact that you're curious, and I love the fact that it sounds like you have made so far this curious adventure come out in your life. So now
Mm.
you're doing this biotech startup. So tell us more, because this is kind of the culmination of what everything that you've done to date, really, isn't it? The influences, the experience, and the recognition that you've had is now a culmination of everything that you've experienced so far. And this startup. Tell us a little bit more about this biotech startup and what it means to you, and how it can help
That is
people.
a great question. It's very new to me, but at the same time, very new to the world. I'm doing something never been introduced to the world, so it's super exciting. You just mentioned it, like you are a musician, and then it's going for property coach and the wealthy coach. It's all about the self concept because you have to decide like no other people is giving you the badge, like name badge, like you are a musician, you can only coach people about music. Is it not like that? I was doing ecom, I was doing that fashion, but very simply, because I was in this too, I was just super interested about any tech, and I was express all the tech, and then at one point, like, oh, I touched all tech, fintech, martech, medtech, edtech, because I loved it all. But it's at one point, like, when I got really deep into myself, more human and more science, and oh, I really want to touch about the biotech, and then also the very naturally love. Just I wanted to see that food and beverage stuff as well. So it came really beautifully came. You don't know what was it? I only just asked and just came biotech in a food F&B industry. So what it um, is if I just explain the tech a little bit over, is it just really sustainable, super fast freezing, ultra fast. So if I'm mainly working with the sushi masters at the minute because of what is a Japanese tech, and then people it's super appreciated over there as if it's eating raw fish. And then this still makes it super fast and
Okay.
fresh and sustainable. Uh, so it's harder to understand is in this even just for anyone because of very futuristic tech, but a very simple, very simple method and very clean, very sustainable. What I meant for this business is I'd love to. I think you so deserve having fresh food blown. So that and I got really luckily I got to speak to this sushi master here and that luxury restaurant here, and then they were struggling a lot with they can't really get fresh fish because it handled quite badly because they don't quite understand okay, that I'm having raw fish. We only serve fish and chips. it's fish can handle it anywhere. We can make fried fish and chips. I can solve that problem. They can have with my tech. They can have a really fresh, clean, no waste food, and then customer and chef will both be happy. So it's a, the meaning was it's a big. I do like to feed the people with a really good food. People deserve to know, deserve to taste it, and then it's a lovely thing. It's a food you never meant to just have on your own. It's a sharing, and then just community we talk around the food. That's whole thing. Again, it's biotech. This is a tool to it's a kind of new me joining and then approaching the world differently. This is like a little tool to connect to the world and then serve this time with still the same audience, but is the people with this it is a tool connect to the world and through community they can have their own community. I can have it's just you got beautiful community on your own with through your theme you're coaching people. This will be me just serving feeding people with a really fresh food, but it'll be very sustainable as well. So good for us, good for planet. So that's where we're going. That's my meaning for this new project I'm working on.
Wow, amazing, amazing. You've gone, yeah, full circle from beauty on the outside to beauty on the inside, and yeah, creating good health, and good health, of course, results in a radiance of the expression
So
of who we are, right? Yeah, lovely. Wow, amazing stuff. And okay, let's go to the converse of this, right? Let's
yeah,
go to the opposite of this. You're talking about a passion project here. You're talking about something that that's kind of come about as a result of everything else that you've experienced. So let's go to the opposite of this. What's been your least favorite role that you've had in your life, and what was maybe the worst thing about it that's turned into maybe the greatest gift?
that's slightly two different things. Um, is a question is quite fresh for me because of what the I don't often ask like a list thing. I would always focus on best thing. So very hard to look at list thing. Oh, let's think about list
Yeah,
thing.
often something really great can come from something really
Totally.
bad, of course, so or an experience
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
of
not so
course that
great. Yeah.
everything is a gift, everything's opportunity. I will never take yeah, it's a trouble problem. It's everything's it's opportunity. Just how you look at it. It's all the perspective. So least thing favorite in my project will be um I'm like a queen of a delegation. I'm very good at seeing the big picture and I'm quite high level of it. So strategically and conceptualizing that's how I did all the marketing and the campaigns. So that going down to operational part as executing is that could be like my list thing. Is of course again is it turn into opportunity. I should do know everything, so I can ask people to do it. But one thing I would do is if any task on me like in front of me, I'll be like, who can help me this? Who can do this for me? So there are so many smartest people that can do faster and more effectively than me. So but at the beginning, coming from D2C to B2B, of course I need to do by myself. So I can ask people, I can have a team, I can support them because I've been through. So that's definitely new learning skills and then that's gratefully accepting this execution and operational part as well. So that'll be it.
Yeah, I know. Very good, very good. Yeah, it's often if you've especially if you've been in a larger organization, and as you work in that large organization, of course you start maybe kind of near the bottom, or you kind of have a junior role to start with, and then as you grow in that business, you have the power to delegate, and you have the power, you have a team on hand who can do this and that and the other for you. And when you start out on your own, it's it's a different set of challenges. And so, yeah, having to take ownership of certain aspects of your work, and yeah, it forces you to grow, I think, in a particular way, so that you can then recognize how best to grow the business, how best to delegate what needs to be delegated, but also you can be the visionary and keep everybody on board and doing what needs to be done to get that vision actually out into the world, right? But yeah, I mean, so would you say there was at any point in your career a particular role that you really just didn't
Oh,
enjoy? So like going back into your previous roles, is there something that made you think, oh, really don't enjoy this role, and that's why you moved to a
mm,
different
eh, yeah,
role or a
and
different way of
I think
working?
I am relatively, I mean, I grew very, very quickly in the industry when I was working for other big firms, big names, because only because of I had my self concept, but also that junior role is just very, very boring and simple. it's Yeah, it's very repetitive. Like almost you go to a manufacturer doing just the same making things. Like just the junior was very very simple, and when you can see like a big vision, it's very hard to be on there. That's why I grew very quickly.
Yeah,
And once I grew, and then as you said, I had a team and working with the leadership team when it's just startups different. Startups like I have a full on power. I can do lots of things. There's no many chair to just that get signed off. But when you work with really big names, there's just so many chair to just sign off, and then they should work certain way.
yeah,
But actually, like it's a front line looks so good. I mean, also I'm coming from marketing, and obviously everything is we want to make a revenue out of it. But they think, oh well, we made a sort of percentage, but actually having that system and then time and manpower is a really make money. Just people don't see that way. Just see it very short-sighted. And also what I didn't understand working in those
mm,
big names, there are two people. I'm bit blunt on this, but it's people understand everyone's got different opinions. I mean, I equally appreciate people. So there are two types of people. One type is they're very happy to do 9 to 5 and then be there just to do told what to do. Very smart people, very nice people, but they are happy to
yeah,
do things there. Just they're given. That's it. But I see things and I question people. Why do it this way? If there's a better way, but someone actually answered me literally, no. People make a decision. I just do whatever I told her to do. These people have been there like more than a decade in the team doing amazing job, but they're happy to do that still. But people like me, I just did things that there's a way to do way better things, and they don't want to change it. I find it very difficult. That's why I do my own thing, of course. So that kind of thing, yeah, that kind of thing is
brilliant,
definitely
yeah,
answer to
yeah,
your question. What was so I couldn't really fit on again. When you see lots of founders or entrepreneurs, they're just not very manageable. To be honest, they're just not manageable people. They just have their own things. So if you let them free range, they can grow really quickly. But if it's a certain organization, it might not fit. So yeah, that's how.
yeah. No, it sounds like you had a very creative, or you have a very creative mind, and you can see different ways of doing things, and that's obviously what's led you to where you are at now, because there was I guess the dissatisfaction of the repetitive task, or having to get things signed off, or yeah, being in the box, and what you're doing now is very out of the box. So yeah, and in that sense, then, if you could give any budding or new entrepreneurs out there listening to this, what would be your biggest tips for entrepreneurs, budding
Mm,
entrepreneurs just starting out, from what you've learned,
the
making that transition from corporate to your own business? Hey, thanks so much for listening into the show. I have a quick question for you. Are you feeling stuck in the grind, even though you're doing everything right? If you're in your 40s working hard in a successful career, but are wondering when you'll finally get to live life on your terms, you're not alone. After 15 years of coaching high performing professionals, I'm opening up a few one-to-one coaching spots again for those ready to take back control. This isn't fluffy life coaching, it's practical, no BS conversations to help you escape burnout, build real momentum, and start moving towards freedom. If that's you, I'm offering a free 30-minute clarity session to see if we're the right fit. No pressure, just real talk and real strategy. Head to the link below to book your free session. Spots are limited, so grab one while they're open. Listen, you've waited long enough. This might just be the step that changes everything.
That's really good question. Yeah, someone I did like a call to big transition like this. That there are three things for new entrepreneurs that I should remember. The first, there's only one of you. There'll be only one of you. So your story matters. You might not inventing the wheel. You aren't doing is a world first freezing is a innovation, but it's not first freezer for first freezing mechanism. It's still just like a little bit changing. So you think you talk about same thing, but you are one of you. So your story will change a whole different thing. So don't worry about it. So first you remember who you are, just only one of you. But also second will be just focus on what you can control. Leave that. You can't you
Mm.
can't control so many things. Why as I see people like just so worried about loads of things, but it's not your control. Just do your control is what you can your control and that is so freedom. So you are your own. You are one of you. Your story super matter, and just control what you can. And the last thing will be that's again it's a very mindset thing. It's everything is neutral. Just that no one can make you upset. In the same time, no one can make you happy. Everything neutral until you assign the feelings to whatever it is. So again, it's the same thing to just focus on what you can control. Is still entrepreneur? I will say it's about more mindset. It's all coming from your mindset. It's you can do anything. Is you are one of you. Just you are only you, the only you. That's and that's not uh, no yeah that's no one can replace you. So it's you, and just focus on what you can,
Yeah.
and everything you should just don't worry about it. Yeah, remember that, and
Oh,
maybe anything.
that's great. That's great advice right there, because I think a lot of people, it's also stepping away from an organization or starting up a business is no easy task, and it gets hard. You're going to have the struggles, you're going to have the roller coaster, you're going to have staffing issues, you're going to have, like you say, things that you can't control, and you just have to give in to that sort of thing. But I think it's when you have a vision, I love what you said about, it's your story that matters and your path through life that's meant whatever the point that you've reached in terms of starting a business. And that's what's going to be important for the customers that you're going to serve. And you're going to resonate with the right people that are going to hear that, and for it to be right, for, like you're saying about the chefs that you're kind of connecting with and their customers, and etc., and people who are interested in that kind of thing. It's important because that's come from you. Yeah, that's come from you. I love that. I really love that. So yeah, thank you for those top tips there.
It's hard. It's simple, but it's not easy.
And also, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I would say one of the biggest bugbears that I've personally experienced, and I'm a different generation than you, is that, you know, I when I first started off in business, we didn't have a lot of social media. You know, there wasn't, you know, there weren't the platforms out there. So I was very much feet on the ground, you know, going to talk at different events, at face-to-face stuff, and this whole social media world is still something I'm learning to navigate and learning to explore and see, you know, how I can work with it to help get the message out that I have. So in your experience, what is your favorite social media platform, and why? And it may just be appropriate for your particular business, your particular way of working, or is it not social media at all? What is it for you?
Two things. Obviously coming from digital marketing, I fully understand how it works in the back end. I think that really made me that way as well. I never scroll. I never really use social media for my personal journey. It's just that I think it's basically what is too much. But my favorite would be LinkedIn because it's just a straightforward
Mhm.
and then they're just like some dramas. But I like LinkedIn. Also I like YouTube. I learn a lot from that. I don't just I get entertained, I guess. But I met lots of amazing my online mentors, and then I learn. There's a lot
Uh-huh.
of good educational stuff on the YouTube. So I do love YouTube, and this is a bit tricky, but I sometimes listening to audiobook in YouTube as well on YouTube. It's just thank you people, but it's just that because I like reading, so that sometimes just yeah, sometimes you can't really sit down and get on the paper book or listen to audiobook. And yes, so but other than that, social media is definitely great to catch up with the people like rather than telling one person, but you can really broadcast in a good way, like especially having on your own brand. This is I know is it also very good at make other people so famous and making their money through social media. But now I'm doing my own journey, my brand. So I have to myself put out there to being out creating my brand, my personal brand through um social media. So that my audiences are online. I should be online to serve them, engaging with them. So it's way you using utilize I'm not non-user that and that really give you big brain damage to just go into social media. Social media should serve you. So that's another separate things of if you really non user something hours and then I mean I hope people don't do that, but um yeah, the utilizing the social media as your favor that's important. But also, when I'm just starting this business, I get to meet a lot of amazing tech founders, and then I get very good feedback. So that's too. Social media is important because we get contacted. Okay, no one really bring a paper business card anymore. So we just link to each other, and then we just know what our project is about. So that way it's really great to connect with people. Other than that, we still meet. I said, it's people. It's people business. I'm not a biotech business. You are not a property business. We are people business. So yeah, we meet people
Yes.
and then we get connected through LinkedIn and through whatever is a favorite you are or whatever you are using it. So if the social media in my favor will be LinkedIn for connection and YouTube for learning and more showcasing myself soon to be now.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, connection and creativity then is what it's all about. Yeah, rather than using it as a scroll tool, which is, you know, just a, let's face it, that's just kind of in the bluntest way, it's kind of there's the term doom scrolling is
Yeah.
real, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we in terms of how much time you spend connecting and creating on social media, and maybe more to come as your business grows. I mean, how much time would you say you spend each day on that kind of activity? Are you really limiting the amount to, just dipping into the messages that you have, or just doing a piece for creation, content creation, etc., getting it out
Yes,
there? What sort of amount
hardly
are you
been
having to
on
do?
actually. Just a connection, just usually just conversation in LinkedIn, and then I'm learning YouTube
Hmm.
from YouTube. So no, I should be more creating. We all should be creator than consumer. It's very scary thought, especially just moving forward. We're going through
Mm.
Web3 now. We should be owning something. It's rather it's now we're moving Web2 is we are creating on something, and is participating in the web. We should be owning something, but yes, still like we're not creative enough. I am not yet, but as my brand is growing, definitely I should be greater than consumer. So value, yeah.
Yeah. It takes time, absolutely, 100%. I agree, and I try to have a good balance, and I definitely do more creation than consumption. But I do notice when I'm, pick my phone up and kind of just have a bit of a look, and then easily
Oh,
spend 5 or 10 minutes doing that scroll. It's like, oh,
exactly, yeah.
stop it,
What are you
stop
doing?
it. But I do love
That,
YouTube for learning. I have to agree. I do love, there are certain channels on YouTube that you can learn an awful lot from, and I think that's the beauty of this day and age. In fact, I haven't watched terrestrial TV for, I can't even remember. It must be at least
yeah, I don't
15
even have
years
a TV.
that I haven't watched terrestrial TV. Yeah. And if I do, I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube on it, and I do watch the
Right.
odd film here and there, and the occasional. I do the occasional binge series, but yeah,
We own it.
not as much as I used to. But
Oh,
yeah, no,
yes,
it's all
you
good.
are.
Now for something a little bit more fun, let's have a think about this, because you've clearly travelled quite a lot, and certainly in terms of where you've lived. You've lived in Seoul in South Korea, you've lived in New Zealand, and you've lived in the UK. Um, if you could live anywhere else in the world, where would it be and why?
Oh, mhm. That sounds like a bit far-fetched and limiting beliefs. I can live wherever I want. I don't think I would. I've been in London more than 20 years, and London's always my home. But this is like time to move. I just feel like I have each fit, and I'm happy to move. So it's not like oh, one day, someday, we should no, just will. I will I'll live in other big cities
Hmm.
because I'm quite city girl. So that I'll start with New York probably this time next year, and I'll be there about a couple of years.
Okay.
And also, I'd like to regularly live in Italy for like because London's home. I'd like to just I like food, I like people, I like language. So yeah, so that's it. If yeah, I never again. I mean, I'm sure you notice. I don't think there's any limit. I don't have like a limiting beliefs at all. If you go deep down more my journey, just personally and professionally, there's no limits. There's only limits you give yourself. So I
Mm.
don't think like it is far-fetched to like,
Mm.
oh, I wish I could live. No, that I can, that I will, but I will live other places. I've got some in my head, like it starts with New York, but who knows, some other cities will come up before. But yeah, I will definitely live being London's home, but still I will travel around more, live somewhere and come back. I will do that.
Lovely, wonderful stuff, and because it expands your mind, right? Travel expands your mind. I would imagine living in different places expands your mind. I've only ever lived in the UK, but I've lived in a
Oh,
few
yeah.
different areas in the UK. But it, even that expands your mind, and you meet people who have lived somewhere all their life, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're happy and you enjoy that, and you have family nearby, and you want to stay, and if you can be content with that, great. But like you say, life is unlimited. This world is unlimited in terms of where you choose to spend your life, to spend your time. And how wonderful to hear that you have that opportunity, and you've given yourself that opportunity to explore and situate yourself in different centers in the world, so that you can, I guess, draw on all those experiences from those different places. That's
Yes.
magical.
You give your as an
Yeah.
opportunity said. No one's giving you, no one's come and save you here. You you're the one to give yourself all the permission, validation. It's only you can do it. Yeah, don't yes, no
Yeah.
one can do it.
Yeah.
People got bit little bit untouched about that, but it's no, that's not true. That's not true. You got all your power here.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. I'm just really curious now, because you are very self-assured, and you're very confident. You're clearly very able and passionate about what you do, and you've done a lot of digging deep into yourself. And this expression of who you are is probably has it's been a journey through your life to be here. And I wonder, is there something that is your biggest pet peeve, something that really annoys you? Or are you one of these people that's just like, life happens and it's all good. Whatever happens is all good. I mean, you sound like you're very much along those lines, but is there anything about where you live, or other people, or business in general, that is your biggest pet peeve, that you just go, oh, like for some people it might be the traffic, right? In London, because I've lived in London as well, lived there for 17 years, and yeah, that's one of my, I guess, well, certainly for my husband, it was one of his biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, I mean that is
Would you?
when you focus on what you can control, you don't have to worry about it. And also, I'm not really like, oh, whatever. It's more likely I don't judge you, you don't judge me that way. But definitely, there's like something like that. I have more like I prefer or more appreciation and respect wise. I'm a minimalist. I live a simple life. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
simplicity. And it's just that more likely and respect others and more like ourselves. People don't clear up their mess, not only physically, also emotionally, if you know what I mean. So
Mm.
people don't do that. Maybe I get annoyed. Just respect as who you are, and then other human being. That's I like my minimalist. I have even my desktop is very very clean. My digital physically very minimalist, and I super appreciate simplicity of simplicity. So I guess that like people don't clear up after themselves physically and emotionally. That'll be
Yeah, good. Wow, that's a good one. I love that, because I'm going to take that. That's what I'm taking from this to apply to my own life. I tend to
Oh,
overcomplicate things sometimes. So I love the idea that you are opposite. You are the simplicity and clarity, and so the ability to just clear your mind, clear your physical space, etc., etc. And I tend to go all this and all this and all this, and it's it's great. And I've got better over the years of kind of just letting things
oh,
go, and being in the point. But yeah, you should see
and
my shelves full of interesting stuff.
that's a nice way to put together.
But I'm Yeah. But I have cleared a lot of clutter. But yeah, I love that. I agree that the more we
Yeah,
can get let go, the more that we can let go of what's not us or not going to serve us or that's old
yeah.
energy or etc. Is great to
Oh my gosh, yeah,
let go, let go. I
totally.
love it. I love
Oh
that.
yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for the reminder.
Obviously, whatever I said it today, I reminded myself all the time. It's like a gym. Like you don't go to gym one day, if your muscle goes back down, whatever. Well, it's like a muscle, like a brain, mental gym. You have to keep reminding yourself. That's why I use your YouTube and podcast like this. But um, it's I am very big on it. My minimalism, minimalism and simplicity mind. It's just for peace and free myself. But often this the physical tangible things owns you, not you own them. And I don't like that.
Mm.
I have ownership
Mm.
and everything. Yeah, I can't have ownership for even people I love them. But with the tangible thing, no, they're not gonna own me. I cherish it. I love it because
Yeah.
a minimalist
Yeah.
usually comes with a clean frequency. So I obviously cherish it. But I've got a small stuff. I said relatively very few bits. I don't encase bits. So that I cherish them until I can use. And yeah, so it's I own them. That we clear about this.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. That's truly great. And actually, that brings me on to the penultimate question, which is, for me, one of the biggest aspects in life is freedom. And I think seems like one of your highest values is freedom. And everyone can, or perhaps, what's the word? People can say in words whatever freedom means to them, and it can sound very different coming from different people, of course. And so, if you could define, and obviously freedom is, I would imagine, important to most people, but if you could define what freedom means to you, what would you say that looks like? What is freedom to you?
Freedom. It's with my this journey. It was a quite dark journey to come out to the bright side. And I learned this the hard way. Well, I ended up now, eh, it's bulletproof mindset. So pretty much like David Goggins said, no one can hurt me.
Mm.
More physically, yeah, forget, but it's with the mindset or whatever mind says, I go bulletproof mindset. So I am, regardless of my bank account, regardless of my where business state or my relationships, I'm very free and feel very abundant, very grateful. Just right now, I'm speaking to you. This is just so free and abundant. That's my freedom. And just again, just being present, know who I am, and this my simple but very fluid life. I love just winging my life. I have a big
Yeah.
vision, that I'm going to live somewhere, la la.
Yeah.
But it's all about perspective. What sort of lens you see? What sort of lens you choose to see the world? I know, however you see the world is everyone's going to different. Even though we live right moment is that I'm sure they set in London, and I'm sure everyone see differently. But to me, it's just whatever is very calm. It feel like I'm just a stormy, like I'm right in the middle of the storm, but very calm because everything is turbulent. It
Mm.
doesn't bother
Mm.
me. I choose what to see. I choose which direction I'm going. So that'll be my freedom for now, but ultimate freedom. But I'm still learning. I'm still my journey. So my freedom will be evolve. I hope it's even better place. But I'm very grateful. I feel abundant.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, that's where it all starts, right? It's the feeling of that's it. At the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world and still feel trapped. And so I think it's that inner feeling of freedom that is the most important thing. If you like you say, things can trap you rather than you feeling free. So it is an internal thing, and I love that you've recognized that, and that that's what you're expressing here today. So fantastic stuff. I love that. And just to kind of end the show, is there something you wish I had asked you
Oh no.
that I didn't? And is there anything you'd like
Oh
to say
yes,
about
we
that?
talked about a lot about the inner freedom mindset. But to be really, really honest, before that, what you need to have this mindset, you need to have a strong body. If you don't have you didn't
Yeah.
sleep well, so important. Your sleep, your strong, it all comes from your strong mindset, my this freedom, my bulletproof mindset. It comes from my strong body. I don't care about my brain, and then the brains function with my body and my mind. So you keep your vessel. You are hiring. Just you are renting this body for this lifetime. In this like moment, you might have some other body. I ordered already big body because I'm quite petite person. So next life, I want to have like this to what it goes. But what I'm saying is, strong body is super important. You look after your body first. Sleep and eat well, course of exercise, and then if you don't have that, you're never gonna have this bulletproof mindset. You're never gonna have a freedom. You're never gonna have inner peace ever. It comes from your strong body. Look up anything. Okay, we talked about entrepreneur, and you are one of you. There's no one else. And then focus on what you can control. Everything neutral. It doesn't matter if you got a crap body. You can't think that way. If you want, to be honest, if there was top three, number 0, before the top 3, what you need to do, keep your body healthy. Do the push-ups, okay? Push-ups, that just keep your body, keep your body
Yeah.
healthy, strong. Your mind just naturally coming, to be honest. Start from there. That's where you start. And you get strong mindset because you can see you're feeling good and healthy. You feel invincible and you can really have all the world yourself and serve others. Yeah, strong body. That's all I can end up with, actually.
I love that. I absolutely love, and what you're saying is your health
Oh,
is your wealth in so
totally.
many respects. That's the ultimate, the ultimate thing that is going to help you to carry yourself through this life in whatever way you choose to, wherever you choose to go is the key. So 100%. I love that. Really love that. Wow, thank you, Jihyun. I'm so glad that that came out just before the end there. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you, and I'm sure the audience will love taking your golden nuggets there and putting some into practice. And how can people reach you? How can we get hold of
Before
you?
my project kick off, there'll be a LinkedIn. I mean, forever LinkedIn. So I'll pass you into my LinkedIn details, but very simply, Jihyun Lee, London.
Okay, fantastic. I tell you what, if you give me the links, then I'll pop it into the bio below, and we could, people can have access to you if they feel to, if something what you've said has resonated, or they feel to reach out about your new tech company, then they are more than welcome to do so.
That would be amazing too. Just the connection is really amazing. You just learn from each other so much if you have right intention to do that.
Exactly. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, Jihyun, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to maybe hearing from you again
Hazel,
at some point.
thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Okay, take care and
You
enjoy
too.
the rest of your week.
Bye.